when I go to a place of I'm overwhelmed or I'm exhausted or this, that, and the other, and I'm just gonna chill, listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube talk or whatever, I was never able to actually enjoy the fucking thing. When I binge watch something, I can never enjoy it. From the first moment to the last, I have incredible tension in my body. And that's because there's the fucking pusher that is pounding the door of the bunker, is screaming at me to get the fuck out of there. When I go into hiding, it's never even a little bit pleasant. And maybe it's for nobody, because we all have that inner voice when we're hiding from something that knows that we're not doing what we're supposed to do. But I think we all have different bunkers and different levels of pushers. And my pusher ain't like everybody's. That I'm pretty sure of. Otherwise, I wouldn't be where I am today. The amount of tension that I have when I try to quote unquote relax and distract myself is insufferable. It just sucks.
Yeah. I also think a lot of people might have a more comfortable bunker than you.
Yeah,
I think
my
you have a pretty hardcore bunker.
Sucks. My bunker sucks, and I don't really get to hide from the world because there's one voice outside the bunker that's screaming and banging the fucking door. And so it's in my neck almost, and I'm sitting here distracting myself, but fuck, can't I just, you know what my bunker says about the pusher? It's just like, can't you just give us just a moment? Can you just give us a moment to relax? And then when we overdo it, can you then start knocking the door? And my inner pusher says, no, bitches, no fucking assholes, not a second, right? It's relentless, it's ruthless, it's merciless. It's just no, not one moment. When you don't do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to be in your face screaming at you. Now, that has done good things for me. Yeah, I mean, it has helped me to never avoid the difficult truths of my life for too long. And it has helped me to never hide from challenges for too long. But, you know, there's this concept in IFS, internal family systems, that talks about polarization. And polarization is not when you have just two parts in your psyche that are at the opposite ends of the spectrum, right? You could have a pusher and a bunker or a comforter that are not polarized because they're at the opposite end. But when you're in the pusher mode, the comforter or bunker, in my case, is not interfering. And when you're in the comforter or bunker mode, the pusher is not interfering, right? They are polarized when they are actively engaging when one of them is dominant and fighting that part. And
so both of them are pulling in different directions.
Yes, and they have a beautiful metaphor for this where they say, imagine a sailing boat where you have two sailors on it, and one is takes a rope and leans way to the left outside the boat, and the other is way to the right, and both of them are leaning more and more extreme because they think if they don't, the boat is going to tip. And it's true, because they're both gone to such an extreme place where if one of them goes back a little bit, the boat will tip. The problem is that they pushed each other to such an extreme place that there's nowhere to go other than stay stuck in the most extreme of places. And so how do you negotiate to make those two slowly but surely trust each other and start walking one step at a time back into the boat, right? Where they start valuing each other and working together, and then eventually you would want the thing that they're trying to prevent, which is whatever they're trying to protect, you would want to bring that in and integrate that as well and make them understand that whatever they are doing, usually we're building these extreme responses in childhood, kind of their over responses to a situation. In very extreme cases, it's a traumatic event that might create this super extreme. And we're talking extremes, nothing compared to mine, where people, you know, the comforter might be something that leads you to drugs. It's a really destructive behavior. And that polarization is when those two parts of your psyche are at the most extreme and constantly at battle with the other side. So whenever one of them is dominantly present in your psyche, the other one isn't just like waiting for their turn. The other one is actually interfering with it, right? And that makes such sense. I can use that metaphor or framework, and a bunch of my behavior falls into a beautiful pattern where before it was just chaos, unexplainable why I am acting the way I'm acting. And now it's just like dominoes. They just, they all just fell. I'm like, oh,
of course, that's why.
That explains this moment, whenever I do this, whenever I feel that. Wow, this explains a lot, kind of very beautifully and neatly.